In the meantime, when you hear Joe Biden out on the stump, when he's out at his limited engagements, what he will say, and I'm sure his advisors and consultants have said, Mr. President, this is not a referendum on you. It's a midterm election. It's a choice. So that's what he says. It's not a referendum on me. It's a choice. Well, you know what? That's because currently his policies are what's costing you so much with inflation, where, ketchup is $8 and stuff. Rotisserie chicken is $15. His positions are tough to defend, and yet Karine Jean-Pierre, the new White House press secretary over the last couple of months, it is her tough task to actually defend the president when the reporters ask important questions.
We are not finishing a wall. We are cleaning up the mess that the last administration made. Can't talk about voters from here. As you know, no. Oh, no, I get you. Not gonna, I just need to say that, right? The president has been really clear about the leadership, right? The MAGA Republicans in leadership. They're the ones who have the platform. They're the ones who, again, the extremist part of the Republican Party. I'm not going to get into specifics here. I'm just going to lay out what they have said that they're going to do. So, of course, she was on his mind. She was of top of mind.
Right. That's when he called out the dead person, the dead congresswoman. He wanted to know why she wasn't there. So Joe Rogan was talking about this yesterday and said that she has to be the defense attorney for the indefensible. Watch.
If you're a lawyer, your job is not to make a judgment in your head. And that's why a lot of defense attorneys, man, that's a slippery, weird world to be in, right? But don't you think it's the same way in the government?
Sure.
If you're a person, if you're that poor lady who's the White House press secretary,
worst job on earth.
Worst job.
Worst job.
It's the worst job. You get all the hate of the president and none of the power. Yeah. Everybody hates you. When she had to explain why Joe Biden was bringing up a woman who was dead.
Top of mind.
Top of mind. She was top of mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really like for what she had to work with, it was some incredible gaslighting. That's her job. Just like a defense attorney, it's their job to try to get their client off.
Right. It's Joe Rogan's job to be topical. He was dressed for Halloween right there. But remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago where he referred to Kayleigh McEnany as like the Michael Jordan of press secretaries. And now he's talking about Karine Jean-Pierre as a great gaslighter and a defense attorney because her boss says a lot of stuff and has policies that are hard to defend, but she still does.
When everything he does fails and you have to defend his failures, it's pretty hard to do. I would say that's the hardest job of them being president of the United States, especially when we have this president.
But also you can think of it as a springboard, too. I mean, look at Dana Perino, right? Yeah. Look at Ari Fleischer. Look at Jen Psaki's got a job at a network. Kayleigh McEnany's hosting shows. I mean, so it could be a springboard because it's not easy, right?
Well, and it's not easy defending those particular positions of the president.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, how do you defend 8% inflation or unemployment and stuff like that, or $8 Cheerios? How do you defend that if they have doubled, as we told you from the Wall Street Journal?
Or Duke's mayonnaise in South Carolina. The ladies were saying at the diner they used to pay $3 and something for their big jar of mayonnaise, and now they're paying almost $6.
Well,
it's double.
Now it's also in the handy squeezy bottle.
Those are easier. Those are easier.
Just saying. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.